Thank you, Zoe. Up next, we're going to explore something a little bit more serious. We're going to focus on the regional grouping ASEAN, and we're going to talk about a subgrouping within that group. It is, of course, the ASEAN SAI, which is focused on auditing and basically sharing of information within the ASEAN community. Now, I know it sounds a bit over the top, but we're going to have a little bit of a breakdown with the Deputy Auditor General, Tuan Haji Khalid, who has agreed to join us here in conversation. Thank you, sir, for being here on the program. And first and foremost, for our viewers at home, of course, we want to know, what is the ASEAN SAI and when was it established?
Okay, thank you, Terence. First and foremost, thank you to RTM for giving us some airtime this morning. ASEAN SAI stands for Asian Supreme Audit Institution, and this institution is a congregation of 10 ASEAN member countries, and it was first established in Bali in 2011, and actually the idea of having this organization mooted from the Auditor General, the former Auditor General of Malaysia, Tan Sri Amrin Buang, and also some founding members. Among the founding members as well is the SAI of Brunei and Indonesia, right? So the objective of ASEAN SAI is aligned to the mandate of audit of each member countries, that is to promote accountability, transparency in the public sector.
Well, now we know it's a very young, very new organization. We'd like to know about the structure of governance. How is it managed?
Okay, the ASEAN SAI structure consists of the Assembly and the Executive Committee, plus the Secretariat and the standing committees. The Assembly, as a decision-making body, is comprised of ASEAN member countries who serve as the Auditor General or head of SAIs in the respective countries. Whereas for the Executive Committee, comprises of the Chairman and Vice Chairman, and the Chairman of ASEAN SAI is the Auditor General, where the Assembly was last held, while the Vice Chairman is the Chairman of the Supreme Audit Institution, which will host the next Assembly. And as for the sequence of chairman over the period of 2011 until current, we have the first chairman, the chairman of BPK, Badan Pemeriksa Keuangan Indonesia, as the chairman. At the time, Indonesia was given the honor to be the chairman as host to the first initial meeting in Bali. Then the vice chairman was Brunei, and the current one, that is the chairman is the Auditor General of Laos, and the vice chairman is Malaysia, and the holding of this chairmanship is rotated among members according to alphabetical order of the countries.
So he will be the next chairman.
That's right.
Of this assembly. As we know, the ASEAN community itself has been pushed forward. The vision has changed. We know it's kind of hard for all member states to agree on something because we want to maintain our sovereignty so bad within the organization itself. So how does ASEAN SAI actually help move us closer and contribute towards the ASEAN community vision now 2025?
In line with the mandate by the respective SAIs, and also with the ASEAN Community Vision 2025, ASEAN have drafted their own strategic. ASEAN SAI have drafted their own strategic plan to be promoting accountability and also strengthening institution within ASEAN. I think this jive well with ASEAN Community Vision 2025.
So since its establishment in November 2011, do you feel, in your personal opinion, Tuan Haji Khalid, has ASEAN SAI actually achieved the objectives that it set out to?
So the objective is to, as I mentioned, to promote accountability and transparency, good governance between ASEAN member countries, And with that, I think with the strategic plan in place through the standing committees which we have established under ASEAN side, that is the strategic plan committee headed by the side of Vietnam, and also we have the knowledge sharing committee headed by Malaysia, and the rules procedures committee plus training committees. I think this strategic plan have been implemented through this committee, and so far I think we have successfully held courses and program related to the main objective of ASEAN side. That is, one, through capacity building, where we have collaborated audit being done, parallel audit among member countries being conducted, and also knowledge sharing session, and also on technical cooperation. We have been involved in research, and the first research done by SAI Malaysia, under SAI Malaysia, that is on the public procurement guidelines for ASEAN countries as a guideline, which was first produced in 2013, and the current one we have reviewed and going to be launched during the 5th ASEAN Summit, right? So I think in terms of achievement, the involvement of all member countries and through programs that we have conducted, I believe, and with those evidence, I strongly believe the ASEAN side is moving in a positive direction and has been recognized as one of the most active sub-regional grouping under the SAI community, right?
You talked a bit about the ASEAN SAI Summit coming up. It's the 5th ASEAN SAI Summit. When and where will it be held, and what's on the agenda?
Okay, the 5th ASEAN SAI Summit will be held from the 6th until the 7th of November 2019 at the Royal Chulan Hotel in Kuala Lumpur. And during the summit, we are expecting about 100 delegates from all the 10 member countries, plus observers from our collaborators, such as the German Cooperation, and then the EU and the World Bank, those kind of observers that we have, and also from our senior members from the Jabatan Audit Negara. It is an assembly of government auditors, I can say, the grouping of government auditors, and to report on the achievement and progress of ASEAN SAI activities from 2018 to 2019. And we'll be also observing the handing over of chairmanship from SAI of Laos to Malaysia. The Auditor General of Malaysia will be holding the chairmanship for the next 2 years, that is 2019 to 2021. So this will be a big event for us, involving our community around ASEAN. And during this summit, there will be also the launching of the revised version, as I mentioned just now, on the guidelines on the audit of procurement, which is anchored by the SAI of Malaysia for this particular project. And there will, apart from the summit official program, we are having side meetings. There will be 2 side meetings prior to the summit. One is with our donors, involving the EU, the World Bank, and also the GIZ. And the other meeting will be technical meeting, bilateral technical meeting between Malaysia and Supreme Audit Institution of Indonesia. And this technical meeting have been going on for, I think, the 16th time that we are having it. So this is about cooperation on certain current issue on audit, current and common issue, and also the way forward in public sector auditing. We involve a lot of knowledge sharing, in particularly in methodologies, and also lessons learned, from as a result of our audit. Yeah.
So that's a lot of work to be done in just 2 days, 6 to the 7. So on that note, we want to thank you, Tuan Haji Khalid, for agreeing to come and share a little bit about the ASEAN side with us and helping our viewers understand this very specific, very niche sub-regional grouping. And we shall be shifting gears back to Brandon and Zoe for more Fresh Brew. Back to you guys.